Security at this plant is of crucial importance. The Department of Energy has given the protective forces here at the plant the mandate to guard each of our employees' safety and to protect special nuclear materials and classified information that's vital to our nation's defense. Now, to accomplish this task, the professionals of the protective forces have been trained to a level of preparedness that might surprise even some on plant site. Now, we use many techniques in responding effectively and protecting employee safety. Now, one that the security inspector has the option to use is the low ready position. In this program, we'll show you how we use this position in responding to an alarm and what you should do if you meet an inspector who's using this technique. Security is everyone's business. It's each of our responsibility.
Finally, time for dinner.
Okay, Larry, stay tight on the commander. Don't worry about me. Just a little over the shoulder, but mostly tight on the commander, okay? We're interviewing you for an internal training program about how the special response teams respond to alarms here at the plant. Can you tell us something about the techniques you might regularly use when responding to calls here at plant site?
We use a variety of techniques depending on the type of response and the area. The low ready position, for example, is one technique that increases the safety of our inspectors as well as our employees.
Officers responding to alarm in building 1450, please assist.
Why don't you come along? This might answer some of your questions.
Okay, stop down, pack up, and let's get out of here quick. Okay, Larry, when we get to the building where the alarm went off, I'll go in with the commander first, and if there's anything worth shooting, then I'll call you, we'll set up, and we'll roll some tape, okay?
Everything's under control in the area. Just a new employee going to the wrong door.
Boy, when you guys came in there with your submachine guns, I nearly croaked. Do you have to come in like that?
Nearly every call we answer is just like this one. A simple mistake. But we never know when a call is going to be for real. We've never had a serious incident here at the plant, but it could happen any time. Any one of these calls could be a life or death situation.
I guess that's true. Well, when these guys came in with their machine guns, they really looked like they were ready for business.
Well, ma'am, we are.
When we answer a situation like this, we use a technique called a low ready position. Now, we use it because it allows us to react in the safest way for both our inspectors and any employee we might encounter during a response. Our professional security inspectors are thoroughly trained in the low ready position and other effective security techniques. The position permits the inspector to have a complete field of view of a subject's hands and belt line. They can concentrate their attention on the subject or danger area to make a swift and accurate determination if a threat exists. The weapon is at the ready and can be quickly and accurately brought into position. Our inspectors are authorized to carry weapons and make arrests by the Atomic Energy Act, a federal law. On plant site, inspectors are like a local police officer. They deserve the same respect and cooperation. Our responsibility is to keep the plant safe and the material and information here secure. We know we can never call back a bullet once it's fired, so we take the greatest care to guarantee safety. That's why the DOE mandate to our forces is to support the use of the low ready position. In the low ready, the weapon is pointed straight down from the subject's torso. The inspector's finger is off the trigger and the safety is on. The SRT teams like those that responded here use the MP5 submachine gun as their standard weapon, but the low ready is applicable to any weapon, handgun, rifle, or shotgun.
Our audience would appreciate understanding exactly what they might see if they were on hand when an inspector responds to an alarm.
When we go into an area, we have to be ready for any possible situation.
Preparedness is the difference between diffusing or accelerating a confrontation. Now, we're trained and retrained to protect the safety of our employees. We're also the first line of defense for special nuclear material or classified information that's vital to our nation's defense. The force at this plant must be able to respond to any threat from any outside or internal source. If someone trips an alarm, even if it's a simple mistake, we've got to be ready to take immediate action. It may look scary, but the whole purpose of the technique is both employee and security inspector safety. The response of the employee is very important in diffusing a possible confrontation.
You stop right there.
The first thing all employees must understand is that in that first few seconds, there is no way for the inspectors to know if someone they come across is an intruder or just an employee in the wrong place.
Oh, what's wrong, officer?
We're responding to an alarm activation on the outer door to this facility. Have you used that door recently?
Well, yes, I did.
That door's alarmed after 6 p.m. You aware of that?
No, I haven't been working here very long. I just went out to get my dinner.
Slowly with your left hand, grab your badge, please. Bend down slowly. Step back, please. I'll call it in. Ma'am, would you mind following us out this door, please? Come with us.
3 Central.
We need to make our employees aware of our procedures and our mission. If we confront someone like Miss Reynolds here, it's not that we assume her to be a criminal or a terrorist. It's just that we have to be on top of any eventuality. Now, if an employee is challenged by an inspector, they should respond exactly as Miss Reynolds did. Stop, listen to the inspector's instructions, avoid any quick or provocative movements, answer their questions, and follow their directions. With the employee's help, through training, preparedness, and the use of techniques like the low-ready position, we can perform our #1 job of keeping this plant and its people safe and secure.
Hello, I'm Al Paoli, Deputy Manager of the Department of Energy's Rocky Flats office. You have just seen a program demonstrating the low-ready position. The response techniques of the low-ready position are designed to reduce errors and increase preparedness of the officers while allowing them to control the situation. The Department of Energy mandates the use of this technique as part of our effort to formalize and improve security disciplines for both the security forces and plant employees. We believe this technique maximizes safety for plant employees and the protective forces. This video demonstrates the proper employee response. Your reaction is vital to keeping the level of response of the security inspector to an absolute minimum. While we hope you will not find yourself in a situation like this, we appreciate your efforts to understand the techniques and to cooperate with the protective forces here at Rocky Flats.
Hello, my name is Paul North, and I'm the Acting Assistant General Manager for Support Services within EG&G, and that organization includes the Safeguards and Security Organization. It's our mission at Rocky Flats to produce nuclear weapons components for our country's defense. And as a result, we end up handling not only special nuclear materials, but very important information. It's our objective to undertake this work safely and in a way which is environmentally sound, and also in a way which is secure to protect these very important assets for our country. The security forces on the Rocky Flats site, run by Wackenhut, are highly trained and are required by the Department of Energy in some circumstances to use what is called the low-ready position. If you, as an employee, understand this position, you understand how you should react to it when presented or confronted by it, then we can conduct the work here safely and also securely, and therefore give the very best for our country.
Hello, I'm Bill Rector, the General Manager for Wackenut Services Incorporated and the Manager for the Protective Force here at the Rocky Flats plant. Over the last several months, you've asked some questions to clarify why we respond to alarms as we do and the techniques that we use, specifically the low ready position, as this video has demonstrated. First off, let me say that any alarm is responded to in a timely fashion, and it is treated as if it is a real alarm because we don't know when the alarm comes into the central alarm station, whether it's a false alarm or whether it's generated by somebody going through the door for a lunch break, as you've seen in the video, or whether it's actually somebody trying to steal special nuclear materials or classified information. Our inspectors are armed with sidearms, with rifles, and with automatic weapons, and they are trained to respond as if their life depended on it because it frequently does. The program you've just seen shows the low-ready procedure. Our mission here at the Rocky Flats is to protect special nuclear materials, classified information, and the safety of the personnel of the plant populace. I thank you for your time and for your attention.
In the course of their duties, protective force officers may encounter employees during a call requiring the officer's action. Now, in this program, you'll get an idea of what to expect if you should encounter an officer doing a security response. I will explain some of the techniques they use. Importantly, it will show you how you should respond to assist the protective force officer preserve your safety and perform their crucial mission of plant security. Protective force officers will always use the minimum constraint to resolve a situation. The officers are thoroughly trained professionals.
You stop right there.
They're ready to respond firmly, fairly, and with total control to everything from a mistaken alarm to an overt attack on this plant. When the area or situation dictate, they're ready to use whatever force is needed to control any situation. You can help minimize the level of force by your cooperation and communication. A federal law in the form of the Atomic Energy Act and the Code of Federal Regulations gives our protective force officers the authority to carry weapons and make arrests on plant site. Now, while our officers have the authority to use force, DOE orders and approved procedures require we only use the minimum force to control a situation. The officer will enter an area in a state of high preparedness, but will initially respond at the lowest level dictated by that area and the situation. Now, often a question can be answered by the officer's presence.
Hey, what's the delay here anyway? What's going on?
Or a brief dialogue.
We're sorry for the delay, sir. It's just a routine vehicle inspection.
But if a subject offers resistance...
Yeah, well, I got an important meeting in 10 minutes.
Sir, would you please get back in your vehicle? We'll be done in just a moment.
The officer will escalate the level of control appropriately. There are times to ensure safety and security, an officer must use physical force. To prepare for that time, our officers are thoroughly trained to react effectively with the least force required. The officers make a professional judgment to use force based on the subject's reaction to the officer or the sensitivity of the area where the response occurs. Employees may encounter officers through an unwitting error or simply by being in the wrong place when a response occurs.
Okay, slowly with your left
The
hand,
first
grab your badge,
responsibility of the
Place
officer
it on the floor in front of you.
is to safely take
Back
control.
up slowly, please.
The officers may respond with their weapon drawn in a low ready position. Another program in this series details in greater depth the use of the low ready position. In some high security areas, the officers may restrain everyone they encounter. They do so to ensure both the employee and officer's safety. Your cooperation will result in a quicker and less traumatic resolution of the situation. It will prevent the necessity of the officer escalating the use of force. Restraints may include handcuffing.
His thumb.
If this is required, be cooperative. The officer will perform the cuffing with the most moderate method possible. You should be aware that this may result in some discomfort, that the officer may require you to kneel or assume a prone position during the cuffing.
He's in the same basic position.
If the officers meet resistance, they will respond with an appropriate increase in force. Officers can draw on a number of other techniques to control a situation. Now, these include physical hand-to-hand controls and baton techniques to neutralize a subject's resistance. To respond to the most serious cases, the protective force officers at this plant are trained in and fully competent to use means of deadly force. Deadly force has never been used at a DOE facility. If it was ever necessary, our professional officers would be fully trained and competent to use it with minimum risk to plant employees and other officers. Now, deadly force is only authorized in the most extreme circumstances. It can be used for self-defense when the officer is in jeopardy of death or serious bodily harm. A deadly force also is authorized to protect others against imminent serious bodily harm, to prevent the theft or unauthorized control of a nuclear weapon, nuclear explosive device, or special nuclear material, or when it is necessary to apprehend a person believed to have stolen a nuclear weapon, SNM, or to pose a significant threat to the life of the officer or others. It's important to remember that officers will initially respond with a minimum level of force appropriate to an area or the situation they encounter. They escalate use of force only in response to the reaction of those they encounter or change in circumstances. Officers will de-escalate the level of force as soon as the situation is in control and safety can be assured. The task of the protective force is to protect the safety of everyone on plant site and to protect those assets so vital to our nation's defense. To do this, sometimes a degree of force is necessary. If that is necessary, our officers will do so with the greatest of professionalism and ability. Your understanding of the techniques they may use and your cooperation with them in the accomplishment of their mission increases the security of this plant and the safety of everyone in it.
This place is a different world. As part of the nation's weapons complex, this plant produces components vital to the national defense. The nature of this business absolutely dictates a heightened dedication to security, environmental concern, and safety. The plant, its buildings, and everything we use on the job is the property of the U.S. government, Department of Energy. Operations are delegated to various contractors under the oversight of the department. Security is necessary to protect employee safety, classified and sensitive information. It also guards national defense assets such as special nuclear material and government property. It is so important that federal law dictates the responsibility to maintain security and the authority to accomplish that task. The security inspectors at the plant are the primary law enforcement body. They deserve the respect and support you give to any police officer. Awareness of and a positive commitment to security is an important element of all jobs here. It is crucial for the good of the individual, the plant, and the nation. Security begins with control of the access to the plant. Access to this facility is limited and authorization is routinely checked. Access to this plant is a privilege that is granted to you. It offers opportunities for business and presents the chance for government officials, media, and some members of the public to achieve greater understanding of plant operations. It carries with it the responsibility to learn the basic requirements for security. Access by foreign nationals may be restricted. As a visitor to this plant, you must be aware of and abide by all the regulations necessary to keep the plant and its personnel secure. As you approach the plant, your first stop is the badging office. Here, your visit approval is verified and a temporary pass issued. You'll be given a brief indoctrination on plant security, and you'll be issued a pass. Your pass is your official ID on plant site. It must be worn in plain sight on your outermost garment, above your waist and below your shoulder. You will also need to have a valid photo ID with you at all times, in addition to the visitor pass. Procedures may require you to be escorted during your visit, or you may be allowed in certain controlled areas unescorted. Uncleared employees and visitors must be escorted at all times in security areas by authorized Q-cleared plant personnel. Escorts are responsible for assuring that the uncleared individuals do not gain access to classified information and are never left alone while in their charge. Escorted persons must obey the directions of their escorts and abide by approved procedures. Escorts must announce the presence of an uncleared individual before entering any area where classified information may be present. As you enter the plant, you will be asked to submit to a vehicle search. Your car will be checked for prohibited items. These include cameras, video and audio tape players or recorders, portable radios, firearms, explosives, incendiary devices, and other dangerous items. Also prohibited by federal law are intoxicants, some non-prescription drugs, and illegal drugs. For all our safety, you will be expected to abide by all traffic and parking regulations. Additionally, your car may be searched for government property leaving plant site without authorization. The security of the special nuclear material, classified information, and government property entrusted to the people of this plant by our fellow citizens is both a responsibility and an honor. We are proud to make it an important part of our daily job. It is a job we do well. If you have any questions on security procedures here, contact Personnel Security. Welcome.